Welcome to War Games, hosted by the sales genius Joe Ingram. If you're looking to win the sales battle, then you have joined the right team. In the War Games group, we devise strategies for sales, marketing, branding, mindset, and attitude. We enlist the assistance from the most successful producers across all industries. We then share their knowledge and techniques with you. Our single goal is to get you ready for your next sales opportunity. When it comes to crossing the minefield of sales, step in the footprints of those that have crossed before you. Now, prepare yourself for boot camp and beyond. It's time for the War Games to begin.
How we play this game.
Hello, War Gamers, and those of you out on the Sales Genius podcast. I am thrilled today. First, let me grab a couple people to bring up on there. Mrs. Ingram is here on her side. JR is here as well. VIP's on the screen. I'm going to bring our guest on in just a second, but I got to brag on him because, you know, as the sales genius, you got to recognize genius in other people. And so when you look at someone who understands marketing, understands sales, understands guiding traffic to a point of sale, all of these encompass this next individual that I'm going to bring on. He owns several companies, overstockdomain.com. So if you want to go, he's like one of the top GoDaddy resellers for domain names. He's also got WebAssetGroup.com. He's got Southern Web Service. The man's been living off of the internet since 2015. And when I say that, you will always find him online on a computer. And for those on TikTok, you can still find him live on the other side of my live. Right? That's here. He is out there and he's impacting the world by helping people to go digital, make money online, and make it something fun, which is different than most people will do. They will give you 5,000 steps to do something, where Robbie has actually embraced artificial intelligence. We met a long time ago during a thing called lockdown, and we were on Clubhouse today, as JR was reminding us that it goes all the way back to Clubhouse in the 2020. But we are here. Robbie Cornelius, welcome to War Games and Sales Genius.
Yo, thank you for having me, Joe. What's going on?
Oh, man, I'm pumped up for this one. Okay, so for those of you that are watching, Robbie and I are online together at least once a week, okay? Why? Because we both feed off of each other, and the goal is what? You know, world domination. It's how 100%. It works. And so we want to get out there and get as much as we can. Robbie's the one that taught me how to do digital ebooks and journals, things like that I jumped in immediately. Robbie always laughs because I take immediate action for whatever it was. We stayed up until, 3 o'clock in the morning, his time on Clubhouse one night. And he was like, hey, I got this. This is what I'm thinking about doing. And I was like, really? And then he mapped out what he did. And then I said, okay, I'm not going to bed until I get this done. And I got it done, submitted to Amazon. JR's holding it up right now.
It is.
Right? It was the Clubhouse Journal. And so in that, I was laughing, going, wow, all it took was him explaining it, me sitting down, going to build it and do the work. And then at that point in time, we built a fast friendship because we both like to hit the ground running and go crazy. So I want to flip this around this way. Oh, wait, there we go.
Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to just be a part of your audience, my brother.
Absolutely. Switch with me, Robbie. There you go. Now you get the big screen. So yeah, I'm grateful you took the time to come through, because it's been a couple years now that we haven't been able to do it. Robbie doesn't like to sleep, kind of like me. This whole, in the middle of the day, he's still in hermit mode and lock down and make stuff. And then he started going live on social media during the days. I was like, now you can come out like right now while we're all here.
Yeah, I know, right? You did see me go through that change, didn't you?
Yes. Like he's out and the sun's out. That takes away he's gonna glitter in the sunlight twilight vampire theory I had.
Yeah, I used to be the night owl. And yeah. Man, thank you.
My pleasure. So
absolutely.
Robbie, give us a little bit of the history that was back there. Like when I wrote the show introduction, I was laughing, and the only reason I did was I had ChatGPT tweak it for me, and I said, "Could you make it a little bit more urban?" The guy used to rap. Okay.
Yeah.
So the description changed away from this thing to go back to, hey, everybody, Robbie's doing this. Yeah. It says what's popping in the very beginning. So
what's popping, lopping. There is no telling what will come out of my mouth, but it will be the truth. I'll tell you that. So I started off. You want my story of online, or you like the whole thing? What do you?
I'm just saying, give me a couple minutes of Robbie's history for those that don't know you, and then from there we're gonna just jump into you teaching us something today that's on your heart to say, let's give out to everybody to go sell more thing. Got it.
So 2011, I stopped doing music. I used to be a rapper. And that's all I ever wanted to be since I was like 5 years old. And then after like getting to where most people would perceive me in my city to be somewhat successful and living the dream, I kind of found out that it wasn't what I really wanted. Like it was just, I was surrounded by so many people that didn't really know me. And then I knew they didn't know me because I didn't know myself. So anyway, stopped rapping and told my significant other that I did not want to rap anymore. She was happy because I had all the girls on me and everything. She was tired of that. And then, so she was like, yes, I agree. And so I was like, but here's the thing, I don't have any money. And she's like, oh, I said, I also don't want to work for anybody, to be honest with you. I'm not lazy. I just don't want to build somebody else's dream. She was like, okay. And I said, if you can figure out, like, if you can take care of like us now, you know, I'm going to figure out this internet thing, because I knew it would work, because that's how I got my music out there. I started publishing music on like platforms like SoundCloud and YouTube. And all of a sudden I was doing shows in weird places like Minot, North Dakota, and Ogden, Utah, and weird little hole in the walls in St. Louis, because people knew my music. So anyway, I wanted to take what I loved about music, which was the internet and the marketing side of it, and do something with it. I just didn't really know what it was. And so long story short, man, I sat home. I kind of took time out to like recollect myself and to figure out who I was deep down on the inside, and spent about a year doing that while trying to figure out how to make some money on the internet, because I knew it was going to be a thing. This was like 2011. I knew it was going to be like huge. And I remember being on vacation one day, and I asked myself, I'm like, man, how can I make some money? I'm on vacation that I couldn't afford. And I think to myself, I'm like, you know what? If I can figure out how to make some money on the internet, this will be good. Maybe if I can make like, you know, a couple of cents every minute of the day, that would be amazing. So I did everything from filling out surveys to doing Secret Shopper. And the one thing about Secret Shopper is you have to have a car to go secret shop. So I didn't even have a car. And I've done everything that I could possibly at that time do to make some money online. And then one day a series of events happened. I stumbled upon a way to make some money on Amazon by selling used books. And I think I grew to like $60,000 in the first 3 months just by going to garage sales and then going to Goodwill and Salvation Army and finding old college books that the students would donate to Goodwill when they went back home for the year. So all you parents out there that paid all that money for those books, thank you.
Right. You helped supplement my income.
Yes, 100%. And so when I sold my first book online, I flipped it from 25 cents to $35 or so. And I was like, oh my God, I could do this 1,000,000 times and I'll be rich. Like I could just keep doing this. I knew I had something. And so that's where my journey started. And from there, I built Southern Web Service, Overstock Domain, and now WebAsset Group, and 100 other arms on the internet. That's the short story.
Fantastic. Okay. So again, you built yourself.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. You had to do it. So you became resourceful instead of dependent.
Yes.
Right. And then you decided to take from there. So what do you want to share and teach? Because the class is yours, Robbie.
Okay. So I like to talk about two things: master your mind to make money online. And I think a lot of people try to make money online without mastering their mind. The reason why I think this is important is because until you're able to accurately understand the leverage that the internet will give you, you'll probably try a lot of different things, but you won't capitalize on it the way that you really could. And that's what I want people to understand. So what do I mean by mastering your mind? The first thing is to understand that you do have a mind, and that it's yours to control. It's your mind. Control it. And I realized that because up until I started doing this, I realized I was allowing the external world to control me. So here's a lesson about mastering your mind. If you look at the word mindset, it's literally the setting of the mind. So how do you want to set your mind? How do you want to think about yourself and the world around you? And I asked myself one day, if I could think about myself and the world around me any way I wanted to think about those two things, what would I think? And the number one thing is I would think highly of myself. Also, I would also believe that the world was set up for me to win instead of set up for me to lose like I previously thought. And then number two is, what do I have at my reach that I can leverage to pull myself out of this situation? And that's where the internet comes into place. I really took a hard look at the internet. I'm speaking so well right now, it feels like I'm reading. I really started looking at the internet, and I started looking at it as real estate. I said, okay, the internet is a world. It's not just some tool we have access to. It's a world, and websites are real estate inside of that world. I remember when Facebook first got evaluated at like $1 billion or so, and I was like, why? They haven't even made any money. This was before you can even do ads on Facebook.
Right.
And so I started asking myself, why have they been evaluated at that much money? And the answer was because they had attention. And on the internet, the number one thing you need is attention. When you see these videos go viral for good or bad, for positive and negative content, 9 times out of 10, those videos went viral because they did something to grab people's attention, for better or worse. So I knew that attention meant traffic. And I also knew that whatever I sold had to be something that people were willing to spend money on. It had to be something that would be able to grab people's attention. And so I went about the business quietly behind the scenes without even showing my face in the beginning, is figuring out what are people buying on the internet. Because if I can get access to things that people are buying, then I can get access to their wallets. And so I set my mind. I said, okay, what do you want to do? I want to make money every single day. I want every day to be payday. So when it comes to building your online business, when it comes to building your personal brand, I'm going to ask you to set your mind and say to yourself, what do I really want from this? Because a lot of people are building these online presences. A lot of people are building companies online, but they're treating them like they're nonprofit organizations. And I always say, hey,
they're a hobby.
They're a hobby. You know, my nickname is Hobby Lobby Robbie, but I'm not a hobby.
That's different. Yeah.
So the number one thing I say is, listen, if you're going to be in business, set your mind up to understand that that business is an animal, and the only food that business eats is money. People want to build businesses, but they never want to talk about money. And so from day one, when I first started trying to build something on the internet, I said, I'm going to be a for-profit capitalist. I'm for profit. I don't care what people are buying. I want to sell it. If it's legal, I want to sell it. So right now, this is a very important time for people because I hear I don't know, but from what I hear on the internet, the economy is doing some bad things for some people. This is a tremendous opportunity for people, because when everybody starts shrinking in fear, this is your opportunity to expand into unlimited potential, in my opinion, and from my experience. So ask yourself, what are people buying right now? Okay, what are they buying? How can I set my mind to focus on what people are buying? And then also, how can I give them the solution to what they're buying into? Case in point. Right now, a lot of people are buying into fear, right? So a lot of people are buying into fear. So I can come in and sell them the solution to fear. What is the solution? Okay, well, if they're financially fearful, then I can sell them ways to make more money using the power of the internet. It's like if I'm in pain physically, and if you're a doctor, sell me the cure, right? So I always ask people, are you in business or do you have a nonprofit organization? Because if you have a nonprofit organization, fine, let's not talk about money. Let's not talk about sales. Let's not talk about getting traffic. Let's just play around. But if you're talking about business, let's get to the money. And have you found, Joe, that a lot of people don't want to talk about money?
A ton of people don't want to talk about money, especially if it's something you ain't got.
Exactly.
Right? They don't want to talk about it because they think if it's time to compare, I'm going to be on the short end of that stick.
Exactly.
Right? And a lot of people don't want to talk about money because we've been taught, right, I believe through society and conditioning, that you don't talk about money, you can't brag about money.
Correct.
Right? But the answer is, don't make it all about money, because if someone has less, you'll make them feel bad. And my answer is, I look at every billionaire and I'm like, I'm so glad you got there, because that means it's possible. Exactly.
That's what I thought. My mentor, my friend Bobby D, I always give this man a shout out, because without him, I probably wouldn't have changed my life. He was already a multimillionaire when I met him. And I remember one day, not to put his business out there, this was many years ago, but I remember one day I had $0 to my name, and I was riding around with him looking at different properties and, riding with him while he paid people and picked up money and things of that nature. And we got to the bank and he deposited a substantial amount of money that I'd never seen before in my life, checks. And I was like, dang. And he looks over, he says, you think that'll be enough money to last me for a while? And I'm like, yeah, like if I had like 1/3 of that, I'd be fine. And that did something to me. I didn't get jealous. I didn't become envious of him. That was evidence that it was possible for me, because just like me, he also came from a family that was not rich. So if it was possible for him, what's up, Deborah? If it was possible for him, it let me know that it was possible for me as well. So I always give him credit for that. And then also he did something tremendously powerful. Is he loaned me some money one time when I was a rapper to invest in my rap career. Shortly after he loaned me the money, I had this spiritual awakening. I said, Bobby, I don't want to be a gangster rapper anymore. He says, are you happy? I said, I'm very happy. He says, well, don't worry about the money. Follow your heart and we'll deal with the money later on. Him giving me the permission to do that led me to discovering how to make some money online. So that's another way of saying you got to know who you truly are as an individual. Maybe you're not built to be an entrepreneur.
Word.
Maybe you're not built to build an online business. My central nervous system is hardwired to deal with a tremendous amount of pressure and risk, because I grew up in that environment my whole life. I didn't know if I was going to go to sleep every night and be, awakened by the sounds of screams coming from the next room, because my mother was getting jumped on. So my central nervous system, I think, in my opinion, has been wired to deal with a tremendous amount of risk. And in entrepreneurship, I've been willing to risk it all. I've been willing to risk it all day in and day out. Time, energy, money, health even. That's how much I wanted to come out of poverty. So setting your mind for success requires you to look deep inside of yourself and get clear about what it is you really want. If you really want to be, if you, a lot of people say they want to be comfortable, but in order to be really comfortable, you got to be really rich.
Right.
And in order to be really rich, you got to
level deep. Yeah.
Yeah. And in order to be really rich, you got to be really uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And so
it sounds like a pyramid scheme to me, Robbie.
It does sound like a pyramid scheme. But I realized that, I was comfortable my whole life being poor. I complained about it, but it was until I was willing to get uncomfortable where I was willing to say, okay, I'm willing to do something different. I'm willing to try. So my first question is, what do you really, really want? Like, really, how much do you want? How do you want your lifestyle to look? A lot of people don't start there. We're kind of taught we can't always get what we want. There's a famous song about that. We can't always get what we want. So we're kind of programmed to believe.
I thought you were going Spice Girls earlier with your what do you want, what you really, really want. And I was like, where's he going with this?
Yeah, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. But I would say to people, get clear about what it is you really, really, really want. You're going to die one day. I keep it all the way real. I had a near-death experience at the age of 7, so it taught me that at a moment's notice, it could be all over. So what if you spend the rest of your life tiptoeing your way through life, trying to, not ruffle any feathers, just kind of basically settle in for what you can get, and then all of a sudden it's absolutely over. So that's what I think about every day. Number one, I wake up every single day. I'm happy I'm alive. And then I also acknowledge that this could be the last day. So let me go out with a bang. Word. It's why I have this guy in the back right here. It reminds me every single day in business to suit up, prepare for battle, because as Joe Ingram always says, this is war games. And, I believe in manifestation. I believe in law of attraction. I believe in kumbaya and raising my energy and things of that nature. But I also believe that in business, you have to be a sniper. You have to be someone that's absolutely clear, because your competitors don't give a crap about you.
That's the truth.
I went to New York. I'm from the South. So in the South, we didn't see stuff like this. But I went to New York one time, had culture shock, and I saw this guy laying on the floor, on the ground in the snow. I thought he was dying, and people were just stepping over him. That was culture shock for me. I'm like, how are they just stepping over this guy? So that let me know that people really don't care about you like that. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to get about your money. And so many, especially online people, are not about their money. They want to look like they have it, but they don't want to get to the business. They spend all day tweaking their websites and editing their logo and creating funnels and follow-ups. And I'm like, you need people.
Right. Yeah, you create a funnel and there's nobody looking at it.
For sure. Nobody's looking at it.
It could be the highest converting funnel ever, but if you get 2 people a year to look at it, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let the traffic tell you what to do next. When you get to a significant amount of people visiting your website and they're not converting, okay, then you look at your funnels and all of your click funnels and your email sequences and all of that. So that's why I say get clear about what you want, because when you're clear about what you want, let's just say you get clear and you say, you know what, man, I really want to make some money. Okay, well, cut all this other fancy stuff out and go sell a product or a service that people are willing to buy right now. Don't even worry about building your brand. I have a lot of people, Joe, that'll come to me and they say, man, I want to build a brand. But when we get months into the process, they're like, man, I'm like, you told me you wanted to build a brand. Yeah, I do, but we got to make some money. You told me you wanted to build a brand.
Yeah,
exactly. So if you really wanted to make some money, you should have led with that, because I would have just set you up with an Amazon account, told you to go drop ship some products from Alibaba and AliExpress, and we could have got to the money immediately.
Right.
Because building a brand, a lot of times building a brand means you're not going to make any money off of that. You know, you're not going to make any money a lot of times. So
Debbie got a question for you.
What's your number one tip for building a brand? That's phenomenal. Be real, raw, and authentic all the time. The same Robbie that you see on camera is the same Robbie that I am behind closed doors.
That's a true statement.
That's because I remember one time, who's the guy that got in trouble for saying the N-word that owned a basketball team? I think it was the Los Angeles Clippers or something like that. That guy, right?
Do it. West, is that his name?
Yeah, it was somebody like that, but he was just like, don't bring. Anyway, I always said, you know, if you say it or do it behind closed doors, just record yourself saying it on social media. I came out as, I'm not going to get political. I voted for Trump though. I didn't want to live with somebody. I didn't want to live with that over my head that, oh, what if they find out? No, let me embrace it. Let me go ahead and record a video and tell y'all I did it. What if I found out what if they find out I dropped out in the 9th grade? Oh, no problem. Hey, everybody, my name is Robbie Cornelius, and I'm a 9th grade high school dropout. And I gave this much care about school. In fact, I was such a bad student that I thought I was in the 9th grade when I dropped out. But 3 years ago, when I needed my high school transcript to get another social security number, I actually found out I was in the 10th grade. So that's how you be real, raw, and authentic. And a lot of people are afraid to put their real self out there. I'm not saying expose your social security number, but dang it, if you are a certain way behind closed doors, be that way on social media, and you'll build a brand quick that way. I did that on TikTok. Went from 0 followers to now 274,000 people following me on that platform. Granted, all of them don't see my content anymore, but I only built it because I was being myself. You know, I wasn't dancing. I wasn't doing the latest trending sounds or showing my boobs or anything like that. It was just me sharing my opinion. And
he says that because that's what I do on my TikTok. So, yeah, that was taking a jab at me.
But that's it. That's the number one thing. But we also have to understand building a brand doesn't necessarily equate to making a lot of money. That usually comes later a lot of times.
I agreed.
You know, so I always say in business, there's two things. Now, when I was a rapper, I don't want to act like I was some balling out of control rapper. I did get to the point where I was making $3,000 a show, but I was only getting about 2 shows a month as an independent artist. Okay. And I was spending the money as fast as I was getting it. And my number one problem was I would go broke and I was like, I'm not going to do anything. I want to get paid as an artist. Right. So I was feeding my soul, but I was starving my pockets. So I want to encourage you to feed your pocket and feed your soul at the same time. Meaning your brand, building a brand a lot of times, that's probably going to feed your soul. But you
ain't going to feed the pocket for years.
Exactly. So you got to find something that's going to feed. So I went for the money first. While I was doing podcasting and stuff for many years, I'm like, I need to get paid. So I'm going to flip these products on Amazon. And a lot of people think they're too fancy, especially in the world of coaching. People want to rent a Rolls Royce. They want to rent a private jet. They want to wear the Louis on the videos to make everybody believe that they're wealthy. But a lot of times behind closed doors, these people don't have a pot to piss in. So my thing was, I need to be my real, raw, and authentic self. Because if you pull up on me in real life and I'm driving if I'm in a Pinto and I'm acting like I'm on social media balling out of control, then I need to be called out. So I always wanted to show up as my real, raw, and authentic self. And that's what I say about building a personal brand. So I say, get clear about what you really, really want. What do you want? Do you want money? Go for money then. Don't be ashamed about it either. Go for it.
Right. But it's easier to build a brand with money.
Yes.
Right? It's easier to feed your soul with money, right? Not saying that the money is there, but whatever it is you're passionate about requires money in this world.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so you can say now, like I personally know Robbie. So Robbie likes to go out and go hiking in the woods, yes, right? And up the mountains. But if he wasn't financially secure enough to have money come in while he's hiking,
couldn't do it.
Right? You can't do it. So everything you want to do to fulfill your soul requires the money for you to have the time freedom and the money freedom to enjoy it. So the answer is sit down and go through this. Grant just put something out the other day and said, if I went back to 19, I would sit down and say, what industries are making money? I don't care what I'm good at. I don't care what it is that, you know, is going to be, I feel passionate about. He's like, no, I'm going to go make the money right now so you can do what you want to do later. Right. I tell everybody I am ambitious. I'm temporarily ambitious right now so that I can be lazy first class later. Yeah. And so again, let's work. Let's keep working. I still feel it in me. Let's work. Let's work. So right now we've got our mind right. Yeah. So right now we're getting to the point of getting our mind right. You know. Yes. Some people are not be able to understand what you said when it said, "Let's go get some money and go on there." So part 2, where are we going next?
So part 2, after you get clear about what you actually want, then you got to repetitiously repeat that over and over again with your thoughts. You gotta integrate it into your DNA. Now, I got a weird way of doing. People call it affirmations. I got a weird way of doing affirmations. I used to sit there and I used to do affirmations over and over again, and then nothing happened. Mm-hmm. But what I realized is that I was only using a small portion of my mind. A lot of people don't realize it, but the body is the physical mind. And if you want to, that's why it's called body language. That's why people watch your body language more than they watch your actual language. Experts. This is why a lot of people understand habits, because habits are usually formed in the body. So what I realized is that I had to get into motion. In the words of the famous Joe Ingram, action solves everything. The reason why action solves everything is because when you take action, that is your body and your mind in motion at the same time. So while you're doing your affirmations and meditating and burning your incense, you need to be doing something physically that can get you closer to that financial or whatever goal that is. Imagine if you wanted to get in shape, but all you did was just visualize all day. Okay, well, cool. You probably could do it, especially if you don't eat all day. But it's going to take you longer than it would take you if you got up and actually done something about it. So number 2 is do what I call MMA. And I'm referencing money right now. MMA is money making activities. The vast majority of my day has to be dedicated to money making activities. I keep my phone on do not disturb all day long. Why? Because I'm getting to the money.
Yeah, all day long. I can tell you, every time I go to text Robbie, it pops up and says this person's silent.
Absolutely.
Robbie has notifications silent
all day long. People don't like it, but I'm like, listen, 99 times out of 10, when people are calling me, they're wanting something from me.
Word.
So they're taking rather than giving. So that's what I realized very early when I checked out. So get clear about the money making activities you need to take every single day. And a money making activity doesn't necessarily have to be something that pays you in real time today. For instance, let's just say you want to get into affiliate marketing. And affiliate marketing will require that you create some content, whether it's video and or blogging. Well, you might make a video and a blog today, put your affiliate links in it. Doesn't mean you're going to get paid today. But if you do that over and over again, that action is going to compound. And all of a sudden, after you've been blogging and creating videos over a significant amount of time and your affiliate links are where they need to be, all of a sudden, you're out for dinner one day with your family and your phone goes off and makes a sound you've never heard before. What was that? Oh my God, I made $100 and I'm sitting right here with my family. That is wow.
That'll help pay for dinner.
That'll help pay for dinner.
We're all getting dessert now.
Exactly. So do money making activities. My definition of money making activities is not something that's going to pay me just for today. Something that I can do today, put out there to the world that will pay me over and over again, potentially for the rest of my life. Whether that's writing a blog, whether that's creating a TikTok video, and people might say, you're wasting time. You have your phone on silent so you can create TikTok videos? Absolutely. Why am I doing that?
Money follows attention.
Money follows attention. And then it also goes to my number 3 tip, which is clone yourself. If I have to show up in real time to get paid, the moment I don't show up in real time, I won't get paid. But if I can take time out of my day to record myself in the form of video, now I just cloned myself. Now the digital version of Robbie is out there shaking hands and kissing babies. That's what I'm talking about. So it's not necessarily that one video might not pay me today, but it'll pay me over and over again the more people come across it. So my third tip, so to revisit what we talked about, get clear about what you want, invest your time and energy in the money-making activities. And then number 3 is figure out a way to clone yourself. I can't tell you the amount of deals I've made because somebody saw a TikTok video that had nothing to do with business. And then they found out that I do certain types of businesses and they hit me up. Hey, I want to do a deal. You got time to jump on a Zoom? I met Joe like that by a TikTok video. So clone yourself. And most importantly, you got to clone yourself in association with the audience that you're trying to attract. Who are you talking to? Who do you desire to come across your video one day and reach out to you and do some business? Who are you talking to? So a lot of my videos are tailored to people that have been thinking about starting an online business for a long time, but they've been on the fence for a while. Or people that are high-level executives that are about to exit their industry and they're going to take their knowledge with them. And I'm trying to convince these individuals to multiply, to essentially clone themselves by leveraging the power of the internet. And so you got to know who you're talking to, right? So you know, all of those things matter. What are we talking about? Are we talking about getting money? Are we talking about being happier? Are we talking about losing weight? Are we talking about, what are we talking about? And so clarity, Joe, is the number one thing that I see that a lot of people struggle with. They don't know what they want. And you can always tell when a person doesn't know what they want, because even when they act like they know what they want, when you ask them why they haven't gone after it, they give you all of these excuses as to why they can't do it right now. That's true. Evidence that they really don't know what they want. And so you have to get clear. And this is, I practice something that a lot of people don't practice. This is radical. I am conscious about the bridges that I burn. When I burn a bridge, I burn it down to the ground. And I burn the bridge, and I also try to drain the water underneath the bridge when I burn it. And the reason why is because I don't want to turn around. I don't want a plan B. I don't want a way out. I'm either going to go through this wall or I'm going to die doing it. That's how radical I am. And that's in association with, for instance, there's a lot of people that when I was rapping, they would say, how do you start getting shows? I say, what do you do for a living? Oh, I work at Walmart. I would just say, well, nobody respects you as a rapper because you work at Walmart. You need to quit. You need to struggle. And a lot of people aren't willing to do that. I'm not saying do that, but that's how radical I am. I'm willing to walk away from the thing that doesn't serve me in order to go for what I really, really, really want. Okay. What do I really want? What's up, Mo Rock? What do I really, really want? That's the only question at the end of the day. What do I want? And will I give myself permission to go get it? Because I like cashing checks. I love cashing checks, People, I love getting checks in the mail. This is the craziest thing. So when I watched the movie The Secret, they always talked about visualizing getting checks in the mail. The world has become more digital, right? So very few people send checks in the mail these days. You would think, okay? But I get checks in the mail every single day because of the company that I built, because of the visualizations that I put into place, and then also because of the action that I took after I visualized. Right? You want to be able to go for exactly what you want. That's what I like. Like, go for what you want. You're gonna die one day. Here's something alarming. Somebody somewhere in the world has died during this conversation we're having. They just took their last breath during this conversation.
It's because they didn't forward that email that somebody sent them that said, if you don't forward this to 10 people, right? Yes.
Absolutely. And I like what Mo said. The secret is there is no secret. You're the power. I always tell people you're the power, you're the truth. Okay. Your reality will be a reflection of you. Okay. Your reality, but it got my attention. I'm a very dark person, not just externally, but I think like that because when I came up, this is what I knew. When I was a rapper, when I was out there in the streets, I had people that didn't even know me personally that wanted to take my life. And that boggled my mind. I'm like, I've never even met these people. Why they got a problem with me? What that taught me is there's always somebody that will feel like you are the reason why they're not successful. So you have to live with that healthy sense of paranoia and know that every single day you got to go for what you want, even in business, because there's somebody out there ready to take you out in business, in life.
And they feel justified for it, of doing it.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. They feel justified for doing it. So I'm very vicious. I historically cut people off. You know, if a relationship isn't beneficial for me, I walk away from it. But I don't just do it out of thin air. I give a person multiple times to like correct course. But I'm just that focused. I used to be a habitual people pleaser, Joe. I would just keep relationships because I knew somebody for a long time. These days, it's just like, I want to be a benefit to you. Can you be a benefit to me? And a benefit might mean you just a good friend. You just have good vibes. But if you're negative,
that's just the lane you stay in. Right?
Exactly.
So you keep them in that lane. Yeah.
Exactly. You might just be a good vibe. I might just need to look at your social media and see you're doing good things, and that's a benefit to me.
Yeah.
But the people that just want to take, I just walk away from those people. So a lot of people are surrounded by people that they cannot grow around. And a lot of times it's the people that you've always known your whole life. Everybody that you know has a version of you that lives in their head. And you unconsciously match that version of you that lives in their head every time you go around those people. So for instance, if you have friends or family members that are used to you living a certain way, and one day you decide you want to level up financially, you tell your family and friends about it. They don't really give you the feedback that you're looking for. And then all of a sudden your spirit starts to die. And you wonder why, like, why is my spirit dying? Because the people you're hanging around will either lift you up or bring you down. They don't mean anything by it a lot of times. They're just used to seeing you the way they've always seen you. So when I started to change, I had to get away from people that I always known. And so I'm not afraid to burn bridges. I'm not afraid to, you know, Joe, I always talk about the fact that I don't do a lot of networking. I used to say that I don't do a lot of physical networking, but the reason why is because if you know the right softwares to use, you don't have to talk to a person on the face of this earth, and you can make a boatload of money behind the scenes and nobody will even know it's you.
I like that. For those of us that have a face for radio, that's beneficial.
I like what JR said. JR says family around the holiday plays old. Exactly. That's phenomenal. You're right, JR.
They just say it out loud around the holidays.
Yes.
But they're playing that stuff all year long.
Correcto mundo. Correct.
And it was funny. I was thinking about this earlier because a couple people popped in. And again, this is a show that we talk about sales, making money, entrepreneurship, and going through. So making money isn't a bad topic.
It's not.
Right. But I challenge anybody who thinks, oh my gosh, they're talking about money so much. They're talking about this. You got to deal with the issue you got with money. Yeah. You probably ain't got a lot of it because of the issue you have with it, that you're associating it the wrong way.
Hey Joe, if they get, let me just do something here. So if me pulling out this stack of checks like this makes you uneasy, I would ask yourself why.
Yeah, I say bravo.
You know what I'm saying? Because I used to say it's paper. It's not even paper anymore. It's just ones and zeros in a computer. Correct. What's your beef with ones and zeros in a computer? Why is that?
More likely you ain't got enough ones and zeros. That's your beef.
Correct. Yeah. And we can all have enough money. I made up my mind. I'm gonna publicly announce this. I made up my mind that for the rest of my life, I'm gonna dedicate my time and energy. I want to be a billionaire because with a $1 billion status, I can help more people. Right. You know, I see so many people that I've tried to give knowledge to and give processes to, and they just don't have it in them a lot of times. A lot of times people just, I'm not saying I want to give people handouts, but maybe I can create jobs that will be able to help those people. So I want to impact more people throughout the world, and I want to influence the world economically. I also want to influence the world politically as well. So that's my new goal. And I never wanted to do that because I had no reason to shoot for a goal that high. But if politics is being influenced by money, we need more good people influencing politics. We need more good people with money.
Correct. Truth.
So in short, just get clear about what you want. Another thing too, I'll say this. I don't know how much time we got, but I'll say that
about 10 minutes.
How many?
10.
Okay, 10 minutes. On the road to entrepreneurship, you're gonna probably lose a lot of friends along the way. A lot of friends, a lot of people that were close with you. You're gonna lose those people because if they're not willing to share your dreams, and if they don't necessarily have to share your dreams, if you're not focused on similar paths, you're gonna drift apart, and that's just part of the game. So I want to let you know that the journey of entrepreneurship, it might be a lonely one. Even if you're surrounded by a bunch of people that work for you, they're not going to think like you a lot of times. No. So you got to get accustomed to being to yourself a lot of times, or join support groups like the War Games and surround yourself around like-minded individuals. You might have to
put yourself on WebAssetGroup.com.
Absolutely.
Jump in the middle of the masterminds that go through, right?
Yes, absolutely.
The fact that you can mastermind with somebody on the other side of the US, right? Yes. And impact each other positively in business and life. And again, never met, but when you look at it, it's a benefit, and it's easier now than it ever has been.
Correct.
To connect to the right group of people.
It really is. It really is. And I'm so serious. I think so. I'll say this too, just to sum it up. One of the biggest misconceptions about me, I'm a very positive person. I'm a very happy person. And people are often shocked to really realize how, like, damn, he's happy. He's a positive person, but he's vicious when it comes to business and moving the needle. I'm serious about taking action. I'm serious. If you say you're going to do something, let's do it. Like, I'm serious about that, because if you don't do it and I'm around you, that your procrastination is going to rub off on someone like me. And I don't want people around me like that. Right. So I came here to do a job and get the job done. And you got to make up your mind that you came here to get a job done, that you're going to go for exactly what you want in life, or just admit that you're playing around and you're just dreaming. You know, so I'm that straightforward with people. A lot of people want to work with me, but I don't take on everybody simply because I need to work with people that are really serious about this. I want to give a shout out to someone right now one person that I absolutely love working with, Sydney Tarver. Okay, Sydney Tarver used to play in the NFL. I think you should have him on your show, Joe. He's awesome.
Absolutely.
This man is a pure pleasure to work with. He's more aggressive than I am when it comes to taking action. Like if I suggest something, he's on it. I mean, it's a pleasure working with him. If I give him the slightest suggestion, he just on it. And I love surrounding myself around people like that. Some people that are strong, you can win championships with those people. So just be willing to take action. Be willing to put in a tremendous amount of work. Some nights I don't leave here to way after dark. But the reason why I'm here is because I love what I do. And I also love making money. I love looking at analytics. I love running ads. You know, I love creating content. So yes, you don't have to do what you're passionate about, but you can find passion in the thing that you choose to do for financial gain. I can't believe that just came out of my mouth. That was smooth.
That was great. That was great.
And you got to be and another thing, another person I enjoy connecting with is Joe Ingram. I'm not just saying that because you're here, but I'm saying that because to me, you make me better. You know, the reason why I say you make me better is because with Joe, one of the first things we said when we started hanging out with each other is you can be who you truly are here. And you want to be around people that are who they truly are and people that you can feel comfortable being who you truly are around. People that you can cut jokes with, people that you can get to the money with, people that you can talk about essentially anything with. Surround yourself around the right people, even if it's in the form of a podcast. I've talked a lot during this, and that's all I have to say.
Fantastic. Robbie Cornelius, I appreciate you. JR, any questions? You had kindly muted yourself, so now you're back. There you go.
Wow, I've heard this before, and it's like I'm hearing it for the first time. Sometimes you need to hear things several times. Maybe I should have done it this way the first time. You know, what you were saying was so true. And I've been going through this thing. I did it today. Got rid of a group because in order to grab something, you have to drop what's slowing you down.
Absolutely.
It's that 10x thing. You got to focus. Got to be. People think I'm a photographer, and I'm a really good photographer, but I was following my hobby. I made money at it. I made good money at it. But now, even with my title, you can see I'm sorry, this isn't an ad or anything. So just this.
No, this is good.
but I got a $250 million deal that I'm financing.
Yeah.
I'm in the finance business. That is what I'm doing because I want to work less and make more. It's just that.
And you can take a picture anytime.
I'm taking all kind of pictures. Only they're more
I take a picture once you funded the $250 million.
Lately.
I love that. I love it. Yeah, you do have to cut that. You have to drop it, man. It's just, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna hurt feelings, and a lot of people in business are afraid to hurt feelings, and you don't want to, but you have to sometimes. You know, you have to do what it takes to lighten the load and go to the next level. I mean, even a hot air balloon has to drop the weight in order to float. And I'm a hot air balloon.
Not a sneeze, sorry. So I was saying, bless you. She was impressed with the hot air balloon as the drop, and then she sneezed.
I'm a hot air
Get rid of the
balloon.
bad and bringing in the good, brothers.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. I love this, and I love what you're doing with War Games. You're dedicated. If you're not willing to take time out of your busy day to build a brand like Joe Ingram, then you really don't want to build a brand. Like, you're playing around. This man he has other things he could be doing with his time, but he knows the importance of building a brand. I wonder, do you get enough credit, Joe? Do you feel like you get enough credit?
Of course I do, but
Okay,
I tell
awesome.
myself a lot of times. Yes.
and the cool thing about it is that you have JR here, and you have your wife with you by your side. Like,
Yes.
that says a lot. It takes a lot for a woman to trust the man to lead. And I don't know who's the lead. Maybe you both are leaders, but what I'm saying is
We fight for it all the time.
you fight
Type
for
A
it.
personalities.
Everybody,
Yes.
you
I
both have a
lose all
leg
the
in
time.
You say you lose all the time?
If we're fighting for it, I lose all the time.
Yeah.
If he gives it to me, then I get it.
Yeah.
You got two alphas here, Robbie. What can I say?
Yeah. It's true
Actually,
though.
4.
I love that, man. I love that. And shouts out to Mo Rock too. I love what Mo Rock is doing. I really like. I never met Mo, but I really like Mo as a person. I spent a lot of time with him back in the Clubhouse days, and I really like JR. Every time I come across JR, it's a really good connection. So shouts out to you guys.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
And Galky's over here texting, going, "Sorry, I'm in the car, but I am listening."
Tell
So-
Brian. Oh, I'm proud of Brian. Brian's doing major things. I'm very
Yes,
proud of Brian.
Brian's got shows booked. He's got all kinds of stuff where he's out there doing it.
Yes, Brian is. He looks. When I see Brian on stage, he looks like he's been out there for years and years and years.
And he's overcritical, just like every one of us.
Yeah.
I get that summary when he's done. I get that. Well, I could have done this better. I could have done this better. I'm like, but what did you do right?
Yeah. And then Joe, Joe, you're one of these people that I think a lot of people should model. A lot of times
Because
when
I'm a model.
because you're a model,
Yeah, exactly.
and because you're
I'm
on
a before picture and all the fitness ads. That's why I'm a model. Yes.
because you're a model, and because you're on a roll. Get it, role
Nice.
model. All right, that was a dad.
Yeah, there's his dad joke.
But what I mean by this is you're willing to spend time, energy, and money investing in something that you don't even know if it's going to work right.
True.
But you know that if you don't try, it's not going to work at all.
It ain't gonna work, period. Yeah, if it ain't being done.
I think Joe invests in people more than projects. He really does invest in people.
I love that. I love that.
War Games is, in fact, it's a passion project.
Yeah.
Right? It's not for me to say, hey guys, look what I'm doing every week. It's because I know there's people who will not have access to the information for one reason or another.
100%.
So my answer is let's give it to them and let them go back and watch as many as they want to watch and get it done. So
I love that you said that. That resonates with me so much.
it resonates. Okay, so for example, Robbie builds his own social media platform, right? Invites everybody to the social media platform and says, you can come on it if you want to, right? Then what does he do? He goes out and says, okay, you have access to this channel and I'm not going to censor you the way we've all been censored on every other, right, platform.
Yes.
So people were like, okay, this is great. And then he got it. He's like, okay, I'm going to charge people to be part of it. It's going to be in here. And then out of nowhere, he goes, you know what? Why do I got to charge people for it? Let's just have them come in.
Let's open it up.
Right? And come in here and let's build something. And you're getting 9,000 people a month now or a day, right? That are hitting your website.
9,300 people a month right now. Last month it was 7,000 people. Now it's 9,300, and the goal is to get 100,000 visitors a month.
Growing.
Exactly.
Good. Good for
Yeah.
you.
And again, why is that? Because he's putting out a platform. He stopped and said, this was the great thing. He said there was a paywall on it originally.
Yep.
and somebody who's already a client of his said, hey, I went and checked out your thing. I'm putting it right here at the bottom for those of you that want to join us here. It's webassetgroup.com, right? But his client looked at him and said, I was going to click in it to join, and then I saw that, you got to pay. It was like $5, right? It wasn't even like huge. And he was like, but then I was like, maybe. And he's like, and Robbie's like, me. You know what's going to be on the other side of that paywall and stuff. And then Robbie was like, you know what? You're right. If it's going to cause hesitation, if it's going to cause people to step back away, then make it free. Yeah. And opt it in.
Yeah, you can get the people there and you'll figure out how to monetize it.
Yeah. The monetization will come later when the group is there doing what you do.
Absolutely. And it I didn't know if it was going to work. I just believed in it. Like, I believe in it. I believe people need something like this. I believe people need a platform to connect with other like-minded people. And I had to invest my own time, energy, and money into it. And now, it essentially runs itself, but you can't be afraid to invest. And people are looking for a guarantee today. People want guarantees. Oh, how do I know if it's going to work? You don't. Like, I hate to break it to anybody. Guaranteeing you that it's going to work is pulling your arm. Like, you don't know.
I have a guarantee, Robbie. If you don't do something, you get nothing. I'll guarantee that 100%.
Nice. There you go. Absolutely. So, that's why I opened up the coaching side of it, because I'm like, how many times people talk themselves out of something every day? And I'm gonna be here saying, hey, publish that blog article. I don't care if you feel like it or not.
Right.
You said you believe in that, right? You believe in what you're doing? I do. Where's your course? You said you was gonna do a course. You said you was gonna do blog articles. You said you were gonna post on social media. I've been working a lot. We all do.
Right. The question's always the same. What are you doing between 2 and 4 a.m.?
Yes.
Every day, right? You got time to go blog.
100%, especially with AI. And then Google just released that they're not going to penalize AI generated content.
Because they just did a revision on Bard.
Yeah, exactly.
That connects it to all your Google equipment. So now you can use Bard with your own Google Drive, with all of your own stuff to go search for things. I was like, wow, just in time for you to say it's not a penalty if you use AI. When theirs was a completely dead AI robot, it was like, hey, you can't use AI out there. Oh, now mine's here. Use mine. No penalty.
Yes. There's so many tools out there that you can just use, and cameras and software you could just use to just kind of like document your day and then turn it into something amazing. Like, it's simple.
I just talked to somebody who was sitting next to me going, well, my son's really a foodie. He's always checking out the restaurants. I go, I got a friend who takes a picture while he's at the restaurant, pulls out his AI and says, here's the picture, and write me a good review of this restaurant.
Absolutely.
Blah, blah, blah. Here's the address. Here's the name. Blog about it. And then it writes a blog.
Exactly.
And then he puts it into a Google Drive folder. His admin comes, grabs it, and makes it an actual blog post. And so guess what? Guess what that dinner is? Right off. Yep.
The dinner pays me over and over again because you monetize the blog with affiliates.
Yep. And again, and you backlink it back to yourself, creating your own validity, right? It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. We just got to build, like, if you look at it, we're all using digital real estate today. Facebook is digital real estate. Instagram is digital real estate. TikTok is digital real estate. Google is digital real estate. And people are still like, what's digital real estate? I'm like, Google the richest companies in the world, and 75% of them are online websites.
True.
It's like, I'm going to get in the website game. What do? We find out what people are looking for. If it doesn't exist, we create it. If it does exist, but it doesn't exist in the way that you think it should exist, we create it. If it's too competitive, then decide what you want to do from there. But now we have this crystal ball called Google Trends. We can log on to it every day. We don't have to wonder what people are typing in and searching for.
True statement.
We just know now. It's like being a fortune teller. It's like, what if you could read the minds of the masses? What if somebody came to you and said that 40 years ago? You would have been like,
what?
Yeah. But now it's like,
it's just like The Graduate when he comes up, plastics. Plastic. There's one word for you, plastics. That's what you have to go into. Now you're like, okay, great. Yep. Now we do. Google Trends.
Google Trends. It's
telling you anything on Google and then scroll down and it says other questions people are asking. There's 5 of them just sitting there waiting for you to go, oh, so go type in sales, right? For me, I'll go type in car sales, then scroll down and it's going to go down and give me 5 other topics that I can make a video on that will then address what everybody is searching for.
100%.
Go to Google Trend and find 100 that they're actually looking for.
100%. This is one thing I'll leave y'all with too. If you really want to, if you're like, okay, what kind of online business can I start that doesn't take a lot of time? Here's what I would do. Like Joe just talked about with the food that I eat, I'll just take a picture of the food. So I would build a local directory for my city that I live in. And I would just notice things as I'm out and about. And I would search for things that I noticed on Google. And I would see if those companies have a presence on the internet. If they don't, talk about that company on your blog, because now when people are searching on Google for that company, they're going to come across your blog. They're going to read your article, and you have affiliate links in that article that are associated with the content that they just searched for. And it's a win-win for all parties involved. It's a win for you because you're bringing traffic to your website and getting affiliate commissions. It's a win for the person that was searching for the content because now you just made it easier for them to find what they're looking for. And it's a win for the business that you wrote about, and they don't even know you did it because it's helping them get more customers into their business. Everybody wins. And that content
and then hit up the business and say, you want to advertise and be a premier person up on my directory.
100%. Right?
They'll run ads because you got traffic. Do it 100%. All up front. So build the eyeballs, and then you can advertise there and make it another win-win on top of the 3 win-win-win we had.
Correct. And when you're out and about, just imagine when you're out and about, people ask me what I do all the time, and I tell them something different depending on where we are when they're asking it, and what they do for a living. So a lot of times in my local community, when people say, what do you do? I say, oh, I'm the owner of MariettaGeorgia.org. And they're like, oh my God, you really own that? And I'm like, yeah, because I'm in Marietta. I know they're going to connect with that statement
right
more than they would connect with, oh, I own WebAsset Group, and now I got to explain what WebAsset Group is, and they're going to be like, okay, that's cool. But if I say, hey, I'm the owner of MariettaGeorgia.org, and I'm interested in taking a couple of photos and like highlighting you on our blog article, it's totally free. Are you okay with that? Oh man, absolutely, sure. Absolutely. You own that? Yeah, I do. Or sometimes I'll just say I work for MariettaGeorgia.org. That even sounds better. So.
And it would sure help me out if I could go put a blog article up about you, blah, blah, blah. And where are they going to go see the blog article at?
MariettaGeorgia.org. Exactly. So you have to think outside of the box, reverse engineer, and ask yourself, how can I make it a win-win-win for all parties involved? And include yourself in that. How can it benefit you? Oh, I can do affiliate deals. What kind of affiliate deals? Depend on what type of content it is. If I'm in real estate, I might want to do an affiliate deal with a platform like New Silver. NewSilver.com has an affiliate program where they'll give you 20%, or no, they'll give you up to I want to say $250 for every real estate investor you send to them that fills out an application. If I'm in real estate, why not do that?
Agreed.
You know,
Fantastic. Okay, I want to say, look, Robbie, you overgave, right? You got all that stuff right there. You dumped a lot on everybody, and I know everybody's going back to watch the replay and come back. What do you say about this? What do you say about? Yes, exactly. So I'm hoping we'll have you back on again, and we can just do let's talk AI tools. Let's talk, making money online. What's the next steps and going through all that. But I do appreciate you, JR. Thanks for jumping on. Any final thoughts before we bounce?
Hey, Lynn, what do you think about these guns before you leave?
Oh, yeah. It's like trying to drink from a fire hose.
It really is. Yes. Lynn Serrano's up there. She loves us.
What's up, Lynn?
Yes.
Lynn Serrano. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much, man. I didn't know it was 6 o'clock in my reality. Nice to meet you.
Take care, everybody. And as always, go out and sell something.